They were talking about the Green New Deal. You know, climate change. I'm going to help y'all with that real quickly, and I'm going to do it in the Wrightsville way so you can understand what I'm saying. We, in America, have some of the cleanest air and cleanest water of anybody in the world. That's right. So what we do is we're going to put from the Green New Deal millions or billions of dollars cleaning our good air up. So all of a sudden China and India ain't putting nothing in there cleaning that situation up. So all that bad air is still there. But since we don't control the air, our good air decided to float over to China, bad air. So when China gets our good air, their bad air gotta move. So it moves over to our good air space. And now we gotta clean that back up.
That's your Republican Senate nominee in the state of Georgia, Herschel Walker, last month with his take on how air pollution works. Now, Walker is criticizing the Democrats' new law that commits billions of dollars to climate spending, arguing too much money is, quote, going to trees. The former football star said, quote, they continue to try to fool you that they are helping out, but they're not, because a lot of money it's going towards trees. Don't we have enough trees around here, he asked. The Georgia candidate stood by his comments in a tweet last night, writing, yes, you heard me right. Joe Biden and Reverend Warnock, his opponent, are spending $1.5 billion on urban forestry and raising taxes on those making under $200,000 to pay for it. Yes, I have a problem with that. Gene Robinson, you're writing today about some of these Senate candidates, Dr. Oz, Blake Masters, Herschel Walker, among them. On the one hand, it's comical to listen to Herschel Walker speak at some of these events. On the other hand, there should be some standards, should there not? Call me old-fashioned, to serve in the United States Senate.
You are so old-fashioned. You are. Have you looked at the roster of the Senate recently? I mean, that ship has sailed, I'm afraid. Yeah. But Herschel Walker would be a new low. He absolutely would be a new low. I mean, I guess, to take a position of anti-tree is certainly something new in politics, in our politics at least, and it's insane. He has absolutely no idea about how air works and how trees work, and to say nothing of climate change. But there is, and he could be the next senator from Georgia. Now he's trailing Reverend Warnock right now by a few points, according to polls. But again, it's a pretty close race. He's actually doing better in his race than some of the other candidates that Donald Trump imposed on the Republican Party, like Dr. Oz, like J.D. Vance, and potentially Blake Masters out in Arizona.
So, Mike Barnicle, Gene makes the important point that you may laugh, but Herschel Walker is right there. He's in a dead heat, neck and neck with Senator Warnock. It'll be a tight race to the end. It's a coin toss at this point. But Herschel Walker, very well, a football icon with name recognition unlike anybody else in the state of Georgia. Played at University of Georgia, won the Heisman Trophy, a celebrated figure there. I mean, you heard it at the rally where he's talking about good air and bad air, getting rousing applause for that explanation. He could very well be in the United States Senate.
Willie, there's no more history. History is what happens right now at the snap of a finger. That man, Herschel Walker, rushed for over 5,000 yards as a Georgia Bulldog. That seems to be the best credential that he has in terms of running for office. That man, as you pointed out, won the Heisman Trophy as a junior at Georgia. And those are credentials that clearly stand out in his race against Raphael Warnock. And it is accurate to say that he could indeed become a member of the United States Senate. But as Gene pointed out, look at the membership of the United States Senate today. Compare the United States Senate to the composition of the United States Senate 10, 20 years ago. You really can't, in terms of credentials, in terms of credibility, in terms of people elected to office who think about the nation, first, our national interest, rather than their own selfish political interests. That's where we are today. That's a reality check. And the ultimate reality check is Herschel Walker could indeed become a United States Senator. God help us.
Icon in the state of Georgia, and also has to be said, handpicked by Donald Trump. Donald Trump drafted Herschel Walker out of Georgia to play for the team he owned in the USFL back in 1983. So with the support of Donald Trump and his name recognition in Georgia, he's doing pretty well.